Who else can do that or has the same access in Dynamics GP? In this segment, we'll discuss a few ways you can uncover users or roles that grant the same permissions in Dynamics GP. When defining a security strategy and baking your segregation of duties into the Dynamics GP role and task setups, you'll want to remember these key considerations. Make sure you have a system password set up so only administrators can get into the user setup, user access setup, user security setup, and other setup areas that affect the security model. Ensure the right users have access to the desired security operations. Make sure the users are not overly permissioned with excess, which is a very common and easy thing to do, and especially avoid the power user role wherever possible. Ensure the most sensitive windows are locked down appropriately. And come up with your own role IDs, which match your business and workflow requirements by position or function, and use as many of the predefined tasks as possible. I like to use an underscore as a leading character in my custom setups because it floats to the top of the list and makes them easy to find, group, sort, and filter. There are quite a few GP security roles and a lot of tasks that come pre-loaded from the factory. They have an asterisk after their name, making it easy to detect. Their names make sense, but the makeup of each role and task is complex. Don't change existing tasks. Duplicate them to a new task, and then change them up. Don't modify the default user task, because everyone will feel the impact of that change. After you upgrade to a newer version of Dynamics GP, there are inevitably new windows, functions, and reports in the application that need to be provisioned. Don't forget to insert the new roles and tasks and update existing ones with the update script provided by Microsoft. Keep in mind, depending on if or how you changed existing security roles and tasks, running this script could put them all back to their original factory settings. More importantly, if you have custom tasks, they won't get updated with the script, so you need to update those manually. You don't want users to suffer interruption in the production company, so don't forget to test all of your custom roles, tasks, and security changes before putting them into production. Use the test company and some sample data to get this important validation completed. But how do you know if your users' roles and tasks are configured appropriately? Well, the standard Dynamics GP reports are just that. They're reports. In paper format, they represent an endless pages of text-based role and task information. Because of the sheer volume of possibilities, especially in a large environment, the reports are often very lengthy. They frequently run into the hundreds or even thousands of pages. But let's try smart lists. Unfortunately, there's no smart list out of the box for Dynamics GP security. So they certainly didn't make this easy, but we have a way to help. The idea I want to share with you today is how you can use Microsoft Power BI to quickly and easily identify who else has the same permissions in Dynamics GP and what those permissions really allow access to in an easily digestible yet analytic fashion. Who else can do that or has the same access in Dynamics GP? There's obviously a few ways we could answer that with the Security Analyzer, but let's look at the User Role Assignments dashboard. It's a matrix and it's a great place to start. You'll notice that we have users down the left and we have roles across the top. This matrix approach allows us to see where we have intersections of users and roles. Let's start with the Operations Manager. I have a user ID called Operations Manager, but I tied him to the Operations Manager role so you could see that when you select that intersection here on the left, on the right side, the list of administrative tasks are exposed. On the bottom right corner are the actual windows that are setup related windows that could have an impact on the operation of your system and behavior. high-risk area. You want to mitigate who has access to this, so it's a good inspection using this dashboard. It also works in reverse and assumes that the setup windows are the sensitive objects that we're trying to secure. So let's start with the related setup windows. Let's look at the general ledger setup window. We'll scroll down. General ledger setup. Who has access to this? How do they get it? By selecting on that window name. This dashboard allows us to see that the accounting manager and the power user are the two folks that have access to this window. So fast, so easy. GP security does not have to be hard or expensive to understand, analyze, or report on. I hope this segment was helpful and informative. We'd love to hear from you. If you are interested in learning more about the GP Security Analyzer, please visit our website at GraVoc.com, Power BI Solutions. Thank you for your interest in watching today. If you know of anyone who would benefit from knowing about this solution, please forward the link and spread the word. In closing, we hope we get to speak with you, or perhaps work together soon on getting your GP security under control.